Welcome, listeners, to Roadrunner Radio, episode number 3. And now for next week's cafeteria menu. We will have upside-down grilled cheese sandwiches, pork foie gras with quinoa and an acai berries demi-glaze, caipirinha beignets, compa sriracha bruschetta, and for dessert, ice cream a la mode. Okay, this is Briggs. He's a second grader, and he's going to tell us a little bit about wild pandas.
All about pandas. Giant pandas live in forests in China. Pandas have 42 teeth. They have really sharp teeth to chew bamboo. They have sharp claws. They grip to trees with their sharp claws. Most pandas eat bamboo. Some eat grass. Most pandas eat and sleep all day. Pandas are endangered.
Yes.
They are 1,600 pandas left right now. Baby pandas have all pink skin. Adults like to be alone. Pandas can ride a bike. I love pandas.
And now for the garden report. We continue to get mysterious notes in the garden. This time it was 5th grader Mitch III who found the note, and it looks like this one was not from the fox. I have Mitch here, and he would like to read the note to you.
Hi, this is Mitch III. Here's what the note says. Hello, it's the raccoon. The last note said that the fox and I like to dance in the garden when no one is watching. Well, actually, I really don't like to dance with the fox. He has 2 left feet. I prefer to dance with the possum, but she's always sleeping. We would still like a sound system installed out here, and a disco ball too. Thank you.
Our garden master du jour, Mrs. Valleys, reminds students that dancing in the garden is not allowed at any time, especially for foxes, raccoons, and possums. Braylon, you ready? Go ahead.
Why do bees hum?
Because I don't know the words.
Whenever you are ready, it's recording.
How do crazy people go through the forest?
They take the psycho path.
What do you get when you cross a snowman with a vampire?
Frostbite.
All right, we're going to have a little interviews section now. This is Miss Horn, who used to be Miss Lewis. Now it's Mrs. Horn, and she's going to try to answer some of these questions. So let's get started. Miss Horn, thank you for coming today.
Oh, you bet. I'm so thrilled to be here.
Mrs. Horn, why did you decide to be a teacher?
Well, I really thought that I'd be a nurse, and I was struggling to not pass out when I would see squeamish things.
Oh, gosh.
I know, so I realized I knew I wanted to work with kids, that maybe that wasn't for me, and that was okay. So my dad's a teacher, and I thought it might work for me. And
Seemed like a natural thing.
And it's working. It's natural. It's all good.
That's great. What do you love about 3rd grade? Like when you're teaching 3rd grade material, what's your favorite subject or topic in the 3rd grade?
Probably reading, because it's so fun to finally be at a level of reading where we can read something really sadly, or we can be very loud, and we can work on our expression. That's always really fun, like we're in a play all the time.
That is great. Yeah, that is good. When you were in school, like in elementary school, what was your favorite subject?
I really enjoyed art.
I thought you were going to say recess.
Well, recess is good too. I stay away from that because all the students say that. So
Yeah, right.
I vote art, and music was really fun too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, those are my
Awesome.
favorites.
Speaking of music, do you consider yourself to be a musical person?
Yeah, I think we're all musical.
We are.
I know we sort of rock out in my classroom sometimes.
You play the ukulele, right?
I do. I play the guitar a little bit as well. And the harmonica is my new attempt.
Oh, okay. You're going to have to bring that in so I
I'll
can hear
bring
that.
it in, definitely.
All right. So if you were not a teacher, but you talked about being a nurse, but that really wasn't going to work.
Wasn't for me.
So if you weren't a teacher, what job do you think you would have?
I would really, when I grow up, I still would like to do this. I think I would be a children's author. I would like to write a book.
You should start working on that.
I think you're right, and
You
I
can
need
do it.
to. And I'm scribbling some things down, but there's a lot of inspiration in these walls.
Absolutely,
So you can imagine,
absolutely. Okay, those were the main questions. We're going to go to a lightning round now.
Okay.
Okay.
Shoot.
So I'm just going to say this or that, and you have to say which one you prefer.
Pickles.
Okay. No, that's
Oh,
not one of them.
okay.
Okay. Black coffee or cream and sugar?
Black coffee.
Okay. Mountains or the beach?
Mountains.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Newspaper or magazine?
Newspaper.
Okay. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Ugh, dark chocolate's better for you. Milk chocolate.
I agree with that
Yeah.
one. Bike or run?
Oh, bike.
Okay. Jazz or rock and roll?
Rock and roll.
And the last one is, this is a tough one. You ready?
I'm ready.
4th of July or Halloween?
Oh, Halloween.
I agree.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, not that I'm not patriotic.
No, I'm very
but-
patriotic. It's the creativity.
Halloween is
Yes.
is really fun.
Yep.
Well, Miss Horn, thank you so much. Those were
welcome.
all the questions I had. I think it's great that you'll be on the episode 3 of the podcast.
I can't wait. Thank you, Mr. Baker.
Thank you so much. This week in the Lost and Found, we have a camel with 3 humps, a jar of green M&Ms, a lime covered in a lemon peel, 1 used toothbrush, a ukulele that thinks it's a guitar, a pineapple wearing a bikini, a burrito in a taco shell, a banana that thinks it's a strawberry, a dog and a hog sitting on a log, and a zebra with no stripes who thinks he's a horse. If any of these items belong to you, please see Mrs. Richardson in the office. And now an update from the school store. Soon the SCA will be selling geniuses. That's right. If you ever wanted your own genius to help you with that project or those difficult math problems, you'll be able to buy your very own. But don't delay because they will be available for only a short time. Also, we are still waiting for the number 3 pencils to arrive. We'll let you know when they come in. We have some bus changes to announce. Bus 137 will now be carrying only goats and sheep. So students who normally ride that bus will now ride on bus 583. Students who ride on bus 27 will now need to sit on the roof because all the seats on that bus have been removed. We now have a new segment on Roadrunner Radio called Time for a Rhyme. In Time for a Rhyme, I will say a word, and you have to say a word that rhymes with my word. It's just that simple. Let's give it a shot. Are you ready? Cat, dog, pig, car, like, house, ice, walk, wall, stick, rug, picnic. Wow, those words were coming at you fast. Let's try it again with the same words now that you have the hang of it. Here we go. Cat, dog, pig, car, like, house, ice, walk, wall, stick, rug, picnic. Picnic? I don't think there's a word that rhymes with picnic. Think about it. If you come up with one, let me know. Now it's time for another new segment here on Roadrunner Radio called Mysterious Places. In Mysterious Places, we will be featuring real stories and facts about real places here in Virginia. For today's Mysterious Places segment, we're going to talk about a place that is very close. Just 5 miles east of the Richmond International Airport, off of Technology Boulevard and Beulah Road in Henrico County's East End, there is a place called the Elko Tract, but I and many others know it as the Lost City. During the 1940s and World War II, Virginia became one of the richest states in America. Norfolk was very busy and a prosperous naval port, and the Richmond Airport was an important center of military operations. The airport was so important, in fact, that people back then thought that there was a chance that German bombers would make their way across the ocean to Richmond to try and bomb the airfield and all the military planes that were kept there. To avoid this problem, a fake airport was built 5 miles to the east of the real airport in the wooded area known as the Elko Tract. This fake airport was an exact copy of the real airport, complete with runways, buildings, and lights. The plan was that if German bombers were spotted flying towards Richmond, all the lights at the fake airport would be turned on and the lights at the real airport could be turned off, tricking the Germans and saving the real airport. Fortunately, this never happened. After the war, sometime in the 1950s, the Elko Tract was built up again, this time with the idea of turning it into a hospital for African Americans. More buildings were erected, along with sidewalks, roads, and even a water tower. That plan also never came to be. When I was a kid in the 1970s, this was a really fun place to hang out and explore. We called it the Lost City because you could still see the old buildings, the roads, and the sidewalks, although the woods and nature was slowly starting to take over at that time. Today, the Elko Tract is off limits to visitors, and nature has really reclaimed much of the old structures. Several large tech companies have purchased the land, and so visiting there means that you'll be trespassing. But on cold winter days when the trees have lost their leaves, you can still see the access road and even the old water tower just above the tree line. And that is the true story of the real place called the Lost City. Cooper, go.
What lies at the bottom of the ocean and twitches?
A nervous wreck.
Okay, Bennett, go.
What's the difference between roast beef and pea soup?
Anyone can roast beef.
Done.
Horse enters a bar and walks over to the...
Okay,
I read it wrong. I'm sorry.
take two.
A horse enters a restaurant and walks over to the waiter. The waiter looks at the horse and says,
Hey, buddy, why the long face?
Do you hear about the Olympic gold medal winner from Canada?
He loved his medal so much he had it bronze.
Ba-dum-bum.
Where does the general keep his army?
In his sleevey.
Well, that about wraps it up for episode 3 of Roadrunner Radio. I want to thank all of the people that were involved in this episode, especially Ms. Horn for her lovely interview, for Briggs for his story about wild pandas, and all the kids that told jokes. We had Braylon, Lindsay, Claire, Madeline, Tyler, Brandon, Kennedy, Claire, H. Cooper, Nolan, Bennett, and Mitch the Third. Thanks again so much, everybody, for listening, and we will be back soon with episode 4. Have a good one.